All right. So we have, we're going to start with eating disorders this time around. Now, anorexia nervosa, according to the DSM and other sources, is the most deadly mental disorder in the United States. It kills more people than any other mental disorder there is. Basically, what it is people will either stop eating or not eat enough, and they always feel like they're overweight. They could be skin and bones, but when they look in the mirror, they see someone who is overweight, and it's usually a way to control what's going on. They feel like they have no control in life, and so stop eating and not eating is something they are able to control. And so again, this is a very deadly mental disease. Affects mainly women, but men can be affected too. And they just don't eat enough. And you can see their bones. You can see them slowly dwindling away. And if they don't get help, eventually they can die from anorexia nervosa. And if you know anybody like this, they really need help. They need long-term therapy. Both psychosocial therapy and medication will help with anorexia nervosa. Bulimia is more common than anorexia nervosa. It's also very hard to detect because the people who are bulimic normally look healthy. But what they tend to do is they eat a lot of food. They gorge themselves. And then they either will take a laxative or throw up. Or, they can exercise obsessively. And so, again, it's an eating disorder. When they gorge, they really gorge on thousands and thousands and thousands of calories, and then they usually throw it up or take laxatives. And it causes a lot of physical issues, with teeth, esophagus, with stomach linings. And again, it's a mental disorder, a mental disease that can cause some long-term problems for people with bulimia. There could be a chemical imbalance in the hypothalamus that causes this. Remember, the hypothalamus is the reward center of the brain. It's, hunger, thirst, and sex drive. And also, here in the United States, there is a lot of societal pressures to maintain some kind of thinness, and so they value slenderness. They don't, obesity. Is not a good thing. You feel embarrassed, you feel depressed about being overweight. And bulimia is one of those ways where people can feel like they have more control over what their body looks like. Okay, so now we're moving on to sexual disorders, or sexual motivation, I'm sorry. For females, the sex drive is, estrogen and progesterone. Ovulation. When a woman ovulates, she is much more susceptible to having sex. She has a higher sex drive when she ovulates. She will show more, skin, wear less clothing a lot of times. They become flush in the cheeks. Their lips will become redder, and again, more susceptible, or having a higher sex drive during this time period during ovulation. It's usually a 3-day or a three-day thing a month where they're ovulating, in which they have the egg inside the fallopian tubes, where they're most susceptible to being pregnant, and it does affect their behaviors and their feelings and all those other things. And then males, androgens secreted by the testicles, again, increase the sex drive for men. And so their sex drive is normally much, it's every day, every month, pretty much. where women might have a higher sex drive during their ovulation, but still have a sex drive any other time. Okay. Masturbation, self-stimulation. Almost 95% plus men masturbate. Maybe a little bit less for women, but it's a completely natural behavior and is nothing to be ashamed of. It just it's actually healthy in a lot of ways, and that's all I gotta say about that. Heterosexuality is being attracted to other sex, males like females, females like males. But there is a double standard when it comes to male-female sexual behavior. When a male, it's not frowned upon for men to have many sex partners. But in this society, females, if they have a lot of sex partners, they are looked down upon often. It seems like over time, we might have the same type of standard for both. But even right now in 2019, we're not at the same standard for societal reasons, and maybe cultural reasons or religious reasons. And it could be for many different reasons, but there is a double standard here in the United States. Extramarital sex, having sex with somebody outside your wife or husband, it does happen. Not as much as people think it does. I've read research that says about 5% of married couples ends up having an affair, but most people remain faithful to their husband and wife, and it may be a mutual thing as well. Okay, homosexuality. About 3 to 4% of the population is homosexuals. Homosexuals have been around for as long as humans. Even before humans were around, homosexuality's been around. There's a lot of theories as to why, but what we do know is not a choice. It's not a choice, and it's something, it's just part of who a person is. The same thing with bisexuality as well. It's just who that person is. It's ingrained in them. You don't learn to be homosexual. You don't learn to be bisexual. It's just who you are as an individual. Now, I've heard many theories as to why there are homosexuals and bisexuals, but every single one of those theories says it's not something that is chosen. It's just something as who you are as a person. And societal problems with homosexuality and bisexuality continues to this day. We just recently, homosexuals are now allowed to marry, but it didn't go down without a fight, and we still have issues to this day when it comes to people's sexuality, and other people having problems with it. But again, it's not anybody, it's just who they are. Okay, what determines sexual orientation? Like I was telling you earlier, it could be genetics, hormones, brain structures. There is no research out there at all that says the way your parents brought you up make a difference. None. Zero. Zilch. Zen. There is no research to suggest it. Maybe I have read research to suggest that when a woman has many different pregnancies, okay, let's say that she has 4 boys. What they have found that the more boys that she has, the more likely the youngest boy will be homosexual. They don't know why, unless that boy is left-handed. I know it's kind of weird, but this is what they found. So some people think there is a relationship between somehow the mother's body remembering that they have given birth to boys, and so to reduce the competition between males for females in the population, that this might be a reason. Again, I don't know whether or not that's true. It's hard to prove scientifically, but that's one possible reason. But I do know it's not because of child rearing. It's not because you played a boy playing with a Barbie when he was 2 years old. It has nothing to do with that. It's all about, who you are as a person, genetics, hormones, and orientation. Okay. Okay, need for power, need for affiliation. Whoops, I'll skip one. Okay, need for achievement. You want to, some people strive for achievement more than others. You can measure your achievement levels, by taking the a perception test. Sorry. And what those are, they're just normal pictures of people doing things, and then the person looking at the picture makes their own story out of it. And this can tell a whole lot about the individual. Where did I go? I may have to push stop here again. Need for affiliation, again, with establishing relationships with other people. We have a psychological and biological need to make connections with other people. It's something that's ingrained in our DNA. We need it. We must have it. Which means, maybe there's big debate about whether, isolation, solitary confinement is actually a humane thing to do, because it does cause some mental illnesses in inmates who communicate with no one for years at a time. Need for power, your need to have control over yourself and other people. Okay, and some people have more power for the reason for this than others. Okay, emotions, just real quick. Define the range of emotions. Emotions is something that happens inside of you. You feel it, and it has effects on your body. James Lange theory of emotion. Basically, it means this. When you come up to a bear, and what happens first? When you see this bear that wants to possibly eat you, does your heart rate increase? Your adrenaline start pumping? And all these things have to happen inside of you before you can feel the emotion of fear? Or is it the other way around? Or could it be at the same time? Okay? So according to the James Lange theory, you have to have all these bodily physiological changes to occur inside your body before your brain can label that as an emotion of fear. Okay? I don't know. That is not true as far as we know. Because by the time you label that emotion, you might be dinner already. Okay, the Cannon-Barr theory says it happens around the same time, and that's more likely. Okay, because then you can react to emergencies and all those other things before it's too late. And then lastly, you have the Schachner-Singer theory of emotions. It's the heartbeats. Adrenaline pumping, eyes dilate, get bigger. That can mean I'm hangry, or that can mean I'm afraid, or it can mean I'm excited. So it kind of depends on your interpretation of what's going on around you, and then different parts of the brain respond to the different types of emotions that are expected. Okay, so I think this is the end of this lecture. If you have any questions, just get a hold of me, and I can help you. Thank you.